Amendment 3 has created a lot of buzz here in the state of Florida, and it's crucial that voters understand the real impact of what it'll do here in our state. Now, here at My Florida Green, we believe in having a healthy discourse when it comes to controversial topics, especially ones like Amendment 3. So in an effort to create a fair and balanced conversation about Amendment 3, on October 23rd, we invited the Policy Director of Smart and Safe, Jake Hoffman, the committee behind Amendment 3, to join us in a live stream discussion. Now, rather than having a debate, we engaged in a discussion to help educate voters and ultimately allow you to decide. In this clip from our discussion, we discuss decriminalization and explore what Amendment 3 does to help expunge previous criminal convictions. So kind of moving on, like you mentioned it earlier, decriminalization. That's been a big talking point about this amendment for supporters. How does Amendment 3 address past criminal convictions for possession or usage?
Yeah, I mean, I think I answered this already, but I can go back over it again. So it doesn't, obviously. This is solely about selling it. But a lot of people are very concerned about what happens for past convictions. And you've got two different elements here to deal with. One, some of these are federal charges. So it's going to be very difficult to try and address federal charges versus state charges and everything like that. It becomes very, very technical. But that is step 5 or 10 of the process of it. Again, I think that's ultimately a lot of people's goal is to get, people's records expunged and to, if they are still facing, ticket, like I think we gave out like 16,000 tickets or something like that in even in Tampa, like in the last so many years, like over marijuana charges, because they don't put them in jail for it, but they still ticket you and they still put you in the process. You still have like a record to deal with, and that can affect employment, all that kind of stuff. So does this amendment address it? No, it does not address it, because it's step 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 down the line for getting there. And once this does pass, again, this is step 1 for passing. If you do not pass this, you are never going to get to the criminal conviction side of it, because you got to get here. You have to start here, and then you eventually get there. And then the activist groups like Last Prisoner Project and some of these very, very good groups will come in and they'll start saying, look, we got to do this first. Now it's legal. Now let's start, trying to get to the point where we actually are, expunging records and things like that many years down the line. It's not going to happen right away.
Yeah. So, and I think that's kind of the misleading part of a lot of the stuff that's going out. We talk about decriminalizing. Well, people are expecting to get their records expunged and people get out of jail or but what it does, Amendment 3 does not, there's no provisions for that. And it doesn't change the current laws, and here's the thing. If your product was not purchased from a dispensary at a certain amount, right? It's still a first degree. If it's 20 grams or less, it's a first degree misdemeanor. It's punishable by a year in jail or 12 months of probation, $1,000 fine. That doesn't change if your product was not found in the dispensary packaging, right? Which again locks it down to the corporate entities. And people are not getting out of jail from this. There's a lot of people that are expecting, oh, cool. So, I'll so-and-so be able to get out of jail. That's not going to happen. And in fact, this doesn't change anything. If it's a federal charge, Amendment 3 doesn't address any of that anyway, because you only can. That's what Amendment 3 tells you can.
Yeah, and I try to explain to people. Maybe hopefully this is another one of the questions down the road that I'm forgetting about. But like the federal portion of this, and I don't want to talk too much about it. Like I can tell you of generally what's going to happen in Florida, right? It's a simple process. They go into session. These things happen. The federal process is a black box. I say that's where like things go to die. Dreams go to die up in Washington, D.C. So like, you have all these ideas of legislation and things that should be done up there, but it takes decades and decades to get like anything done. So, whatever the state does here, if there's anything that involves the federal process, like, look, both candidates have said they want to do something about it federally, but again, Washington is a black box.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would apply that to almost all government entities.
It's all things. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can tell you, I mean, just to kind of go back, I hate to harp on it, but patients have been wanting, been screaming at deaf ears for 8 years now, to get home grow, and that's not even a thing. So, Yeah, I just and the other thing too, you're talking about federal, like even something as simple as a vape cartridge. If that was not purchased at a dispensary or it's not found in that packaging, if you are pulled over, that's a felony. A lot of people don't realize that vape cartridges that's a felony, guys. So anybody out there who thinks that that's safe or you can have it and get away, no, like this amendment doesn't even change that. So that'll be a problem. If you want to see the entire live stream discussion, unscripted and unedited, go to our YouTube channel, or you can go to our Facebook page for My Flow to Green, or you can get the audio versions on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Feel free to check us out. Get educated before you vote.